What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a subscriber requested course for you. Today we are doing Brickyard Crossing golf club or country club. This is in Indianapolis, Indiana, courtesy of Mark Stevens, so shout out to you for the suggestion. I looked it up quick and it looked like this is right next to some kind of speedway track. I'm not sure if that's the Indianapolis Speedway or where they do some of the bigger races or not, but it looked like, just a few pictures that I saw quickly on Google, some of the holes are right up against the like the big stadium seating for the racetrack. So seems pretty cool. Again, shout out to Mark Stevens for the suggestion and the request for this course. Like always, we have the Garmin Approach R10 behind me, set up on a DIY level stand. I came out here before and, like always, hit some 9-irons. Felt pretty good about the dispersions, what I was feeling it was doing, what I was seeing left and right. There was, within the Home Tee Hero app, the Home Tee Hero within the Garmin Golf app that you're seeing on screen, it kept kicking me out when I tried to go into it, and it said that they were having server issues. Haven't seen that before, so hopefully there's no bugginess there with that. Hopefully everything works out good. Country Club Elite mat here that I can put tees into and hit down, and some 10x7 nets. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, get the first driver swing out of the way, hopefully something decent. Still working on getting a little more bend in my left knee, a little more hip rotation. From what I noticed between the couple times I've done it so far, I want to try to focus today on bending that knee, not swaying as much, and mainly keeping the width in my backswing, not hinging my wrists or coming up too steep on the backswing. I kind of want to keep it more out and keep the width in the backswing. Hopefully that'll help a little bit, but that's what we're going to work on today. First hole, par 4, 362. We're gonna aim right up there. We've got a couple bunkers to go around. Doesn't look anything too crazy that we need to get through, but 271, aim out there. Hopefully make some decent contact on this one. Get off to a good start. Horrendous. That was off the top of the net. That might be in that bunker. Picked my head up on that, hit way underneath the ball. I don't even want to see how far that went. That was probably like 150 yards. Not the start we wanted. Seems to always go like that though. Seems like the first couple holes are pretty rough, then we start to pick it up a little bit, and then generally the wheels start coming off at the end. But we got 207. We're in the fairway, so that'll at least help the stats at the end. We've got 207 up one, so 208. I'm gonna go, usually that would be a 4. I'm gonna go 5-iron just because I make better contact and generally hit it a little bit better than the 4. This is most likely a good chance of coming up short, but I want to kind of get a couple good swings going here and then start going for some little bit longer shots, maybe some clubs that I don't use as much or don't feel as comfortable with, that kind of thing. Low and started left, decent contact. And as expected, 5-iron is usually a 200 club, so 197, pretty close to what I would see, and we're 15 yards short. Unfortunately, that's a +3. I would like to have a chance to chip that, but we got a bogey on the first hole. Second hole, par 5, looks relatively straight. Nope, never mind. This is, again, as always, I always play from the furthest back tee, so these were the gold tees here. This is a pretty long par 5. Hopefully, we'll see. Not really sure with these type of courses. Generally with the PGA Championship level courses, I aim for right around bogey golf or better. As you've seen, the top 59 hole courses, those are usually a little bit easier. Courses are a lot easier, more forgiving, not as long. So for those, I try to be around even par. Maybe for this one, I'm not really sure. It looks pretty long. There could be some challenging holes, so maybe somewhere in between there, maybe right around 9-10 over, something like that. but anything can happen. We'll see. Ideally, obviously, I want to be as close to even as possible, if not under, but if we keep hitting the driver like we did that first one, it could be a rough day. Club face was wide open on that. That started pretty far right. I don't know if that's going to come back at all. Looks like it is a little bit. That wasn't the best contact. All right, second shot. We've got 320 left. We're gonna go either over or around this tree here. So I think I'm gonna aim right up there. We're also in the rough. We're just in the rough, so that's going to take off another 10%. So where we're aiming is 228, and we need at least another, call it 22, probably close to like 25 yards. Basically, this is going to pay 22.8 yards short because of the rough. So we need a good 250-ish. I'm going to go 3 hybrid. Hopefully, hit something relatively straight, get it launched up in the air. Started just left of that tree that's hanging out there, and hopefully have a little fade and or slice back towards the right. Definitely started left, and I caught that kind of heavy. Not horrendous, not great. That was probably around 230-ish, 235, with just like a regular flat shot with no power reduction, so not terrible. But usually when I'm swinging this club well, it's right around anywhere from 250 to 270, so hopefully we get a couple of those. Third shot here, 124 up 2, so we're looking at 126. Not sure how much of that 2 yards upslope is at the green, so there's a chance where if this hits, when it hits by the green, it kind of just dies. It doesn't get a whole lot of rollout, but that 2 yards of upslope hitting up to it could be before the green. So I'm gonna go just slightly choke down pitching wedge. Usually it's about 135, 140 on course, so choke down about a half an inch here, just get a nice smooth swing. Pulled it a little left, decent strike, popped it up a little bit, too much, should have choked down a little bit more. I struck it decent, but I knew I pulled that a little. Pin high or close to it, but we're a little long and then we're left, so this is going to be 60-degree territory. We've got 14 yards down 1, so it's going to roll out a little bit. Plus we need another 1.4, like almost 2 yards here, so right around 15 yards. Should put something relatively close to that. If you guys are new to these videos, no putting with the Garmin Approach R10, at least as of right now. I know the higher end launch monitors you can putt, but those circles that you're seeing on the green, the big circle is +2, so I would hit this and then it would be basically a 2 putt. Inside that inner circle by the pin is +1, and then sometimes if you're right on the border of that outer circle, it'll give you a +3 like you already saw. But see, we can put something close here, 15 yards. A little bit left and I hit behind that. That was heavy. We got it to work though. I think it rolled out a little bit with that. It doesn't seem like 1 yard would be a lot of either upslope or downslope around the green, but it is a good amount. It'll, at least for here, if you hit something not great, it'll roll out, and vice versa. If it's up 1, it'll kind of, once it hits, it'll just die. Third hole, we're 1 over. We're gonna start something right around there. I'm actually gonna go a little bit right. We've got this stream looking thing in front of us. We gotta get over. Hopefully if we don't pop it up, that won't be an issue, but we've got that run up all the way along the left side of the hole, so rather take the line a little bit safer towards the right. That was a little bit better. That's probably going to turn over towards the left, but it was kind of low on the club face. As I've seen in some of the other videos, a couple of them, one of the videos I had just done, I came back, I had just done 15 miles riding my bike, so my swing, and I was just completely fatigued, my swing was all out of whack, but the first time I was trying out a little bit more of the knee bend with the rotation, I was seeing a good anywhere from 10 to 30 yards longer with my drive, and that one, granted we were hitting down I think into that one, but that one was a little more, I didn't even hit that one great, we got a little more yardage out of it, so that's promising if we can keep that up. It is a little hot and humid. I'm going to grab some Gatorade while I'm thinking about it. A little hot and humid out, so the back and the swing speed is going to be up just a tad, which will help. 78 yards, no shortage. Let's see if we can take advantage of that halfway decent tee shot here. It's going to be right around 3/4, like 75%, 52. Pulled it left again. Hopefully that's not too much. Or not enough. I think that's a +3, unfortunately. See if we can get a couple pars going here. A little par train, maybe some birds. I feel like I'm swinging it decent today, but with those couple +3s, have a couple miss hits that have been punishing us score-wise. It's funny, some days you come out, I've explained it before, sometimes you come out, you don't feel like you're swinging it well at all, and then sometimes you get lucky score-wise, and then other times you feel like you're swinging it pretty good, and for whatever reason, either you're catching trees or just a few untimely miss hits, you kind of get punished a little bit. So 4th hole, par 3, we're gonna get over this water, and there's trees up there. We've got 212 up one. So I'm gonna go, well, let's check. Looks like we have some room long right. So I'm gonna aim just a little bit right. I'm actually gonna go 5 hybrid. Usually on course I play this to anywhere from like 220, 230. I'm gonna choke down just a tad, but I wanna make sure we get clear of this water, and I'll take being 10-ish or so yards long. Could probably get the 4 iron there, but started left. That should have the distance though. Yeah, talk about long. I actually hit that decent. It was low and to the left, but that was good for 29 yards long. Honestly though, we'll take that. Decent swing. Had a chance of that happening. If we hit that fat, we could have got lucky. So just a short wedge now. We've got 29, no slope, plus we'll need another, call it 3 yards. So we're looking right around 32-ish. I'm gonna go 56 degree. Hopefully get this within that inner circle for a par, or if we're on the green, as we have to wake up the R10 for the first time, we get on the green, we'll have another bogey. Pretty straight, hopefully that's not too much. Then again, I thought it was too much last time, and even that one was short. Feels not great for the wedges so far. That was better contact though. I guess I just didn't swing enough at it. 5th hole, par 4. A little bit of a dog leg left to right. We're gonna aim right about there. I think is a good spot. We've got trees, more so trees along the left, but generally I tend to battle a slice, so I would think majority of the time, at least lately, it's been going towards the right, but who knows. I have a two-way miss a good amount of time as well, so Kind of depends on the day. On the range before with my 9 irons, I was hitting most of them left, so it could be one of those days. That was hit a little bit better. Started right. We'll see if it comes back for us. Kind of just stayed straight, stayed to the right a little. But we'll take that. 276. Died a little bit because it was in the rough. Honestly, I still know I didn't hit that one great with my driver, but that's at least a manageable tee shot that's in play. We're not in the water. We're not messing around with trees, so I could take that. That's a playable shot all day long if I could do that somewhat consistently. 173 left, down 1. So we're looking at 172, plus we need another 17 or 18. So that's 182, 190, right around there. Do we have anything? Doesn't look like we have anything up there, so 190 on course is a pretty stock 6 iron for me, so see what happens here. Tad heavy, started a little left, kind of low as well. It might be just a touch short. Not too bad. Again, if you guys aren't familiar, it shows 171, but that was 171 with the 10% reduction in the rough, so that was closer to the actual. It was like a couple yards short, I think, but that was probably about 185 or so. 6th hole, par 5. We got a dog leg right. We've got a little bit of water. That's way right though, so that shouldn't be into play, hopefully. We're gonna aim right about there. See if we can get another decent tee shot. I've had a couple now, at least the past 2 I think have been 275 plus, relatively straight, so. That one wasn't as good. That one started right as well. .273 though. As the days goes by, I am leaning more and more towards at least maybe a somewhat cheaper, like a 5x7 mat. I've seen some for like $100 or $200 on Amazon that are definitely lower quality than the Country Club Elite mat, but I'm thinking maybe even just a stance mat. I like the mulch. I think it looks decent and it's better than the dirt and grass. Kind of keeps everything relatively level and everything, all the dirt, dust, and grass down. So potentially thinking maybe just a stance mat. Maybe the end of this year, maybe possibly next year, who knows, but a stance mat so my foot don't slip as much. It's mainly just the higher swing speeds with the driver and longer clubs, but either a stance mat or a full mat and potentially cutting out a strip here so I can keep using the Country Club Elite mat, which I like so far. Second shot here, we've got 252. It's aiming us 209, so it's laying us up about 40 yards short. 252, we've got trees to go over. I think I'm gonna, plus we need the 10% because we're in the rough. I think I'm just gonna blast my 3 hybrid up through there. There's a good chance no matter what we hit, we catch some of those trees anyways, so I'd rather have the extra club here. And if we catch the trees, hopefully get through the majority, if not all of them. That was really low. I almost missed that ball. I topped that. Looks like we got lucky though. That was topped, off the heel, and left. But par 5, we've got to look at it for the third stroke. We've got 114, down 1, no reduction because we're in the fairway somehow. So I think 114, anything usually around anywhere between 125 and 100. That's a decision between a full 52 or choke down pitching wedge. I'm gonna go pitching wedge. It's a little more, I feel, controllable and a little more conservative shot. I always have the worry of hitting when I'm taking a fuller, pretty much anything like 75% plus with my 52. That chance creeps into the back of my mind of sculling something 20 yards long. So this eliminates that a little bit. Decent contact. Popped it up a little bit to the left. Got lucky there with that bounce. That was still a little too much. Just on the edge of that +2 for a par. We'll take that. 7th hole, par 3. 177 down 3. So we're looking at 174. That's right between an 8 and a 7. I've been hitting things a little bit longer today between the back feeling a little bit better and being a little humid out here. So I think I'm going to go 8 iron, close it down just a tad. Usually on course this is about 170, sometimes 175, so we could get it there. That's right in the ballpark, but could also go towards that 180 number and swing a smoother 7. May have to change up strategies here throughout the round. Decent strike. I didn't get all of it, but it was relatively straight. Just caught the front edge. Take another par. Grab some Gatorade before the 8th hole. I've been thinking, there's been a good amount of videos where I record, just trying to get as many of these videos done for you guys as I can while the weather's still good. I go sometimes multiple rounds in a day, and then sometimes I've gone as much as like 5-6 days in a row playing out here. So ideally I'm thinking, I took yesterday, I didn't play any golf or swing or practice or anything yesterday. It seems like for me, every other day seems to be like pretty much the sweet spot. So if I can, I want to keep it towards that. Just feels like it gives my back a little bit of time to rest, kind of recover. Feels like I can swing a little bit better when I start playing too many rounds within a short time frame, even within a couple days. The swing speed goes down, mechanics get sloppier, all those type of things. But it's always one of those things you got to consider, if it's better off to kind of work through all that and eventually you come out on the other side after either this year or like a couple years that all that extra practice improves. But sometimes you think maybe you're better off just spacing it out a little bit and having higher quality rounds in practice versus just kind of going pedal to the metal and doing as much as you can. Either way, 8th hole, par 4. We've got a bunch of water left, so I'm going to aim. I'll take these trees versus a drop stroke. We're going to aim right about there. Could be famous last words. Sometimes it's almost better depending on how much tree trouble I get, and sometimes it takes 2 or 3 strokes to get out of those trees. So terrible. Popped way up. And lucky us, looks like we get to mess with trees and the water again, and we only put it at 180 yards. So we've got 283 left, 206. I'm gonna aim a little bit up here to the right. We've got the 10%, so there's nothing that we can hit that's gonna get us there, but I'm gonna grip and rip the 3 hybrid. Hopefully make up some of this yardage from that poor tee shot. That was struck decent. It was a little off the heel. Looks like we'll stay dry. Again, it's gonna kill 10% of it because we were in the rough there, but again, that was like 235-ish. Didn't get all of it, but it was decent. We've got 68 yards left, down 1, 67. I'm gonna go 52. See if we can finally put something close here. A little bit left. Not too bad. I think the feel's coming back a little bit, at least kind of power and swing wise. Those first couple I felt like I either hit them too much and they came up short, or vice versa. That one was relatively close to what I was trying to do. Hopefully that pays off for the back nine score wise. We're +3 through 8. 9th hole here, par 4, 365. It looks like relatively open, so we can take somewhat of an aggressive line. I don't know if that's that aggressive, but kind of cut the corner a little bit. A little bit better. Still didn't get all of it though. At least it's not popped up 150 yards. Alright, got 100 yards left. We caught the bunker. So, like I've explained in other videos, it says 20%, so you would think it would just play 10% more so than we were in the rough, but from what I found, the bunker takes off a good 30 if not 40%, so almost double. So I think 20%, that would be 20 yards. I think I need to play this closer to 130, 140. So I'm gonna go pretty much just full pitching wedge and see what happens. There's a chance even with this full pitching wedge we still come up short. I don't really mind. Somewhat of a guessing game. It would be nice if Garmin and Home to Hero would just tell us if it's instead of 20, if it actually really plays like 30 or 40. Just put that there and I can know club wise, because obviously hitting out of the bunker is a lot easier here than actually in the sand, but I don't have sand here anyways, so if it's actually playing 30-40% shorter, it'd be nice just to have that information. A little bit heavy into the left. I might be short left. We got it there. So I hit that a little bit heavy. That was probably maybe 125, 130-ish type of shot. So closer to, in my opinion, 25-30% out of that bunker. I still can't tell. I'm still trying to figure out if those numbers and that calculation changes a little bit if you're in a greenside bunker versus a fairway bunker. Haven't really been able to decipher it just yet. 10th hole, par 4, relatively short. We're gonna aim up here, I think. We don't have a whole lot to get into trouble. There's that huge bunker, but that looks like a decent line there. So bad. 168 yards with a driver. Can hit my 9 and 8 iron that far. Not sure if my foot slipped, which caused that, or it was just a terrible swing, so my foot slipped after that. Either way, it only went 168 yards, which is horrendous. Alright, see if we can make up for that. Luckily, it's a short par 4, so we've got 166, down 165, plus we need another 16 or 17 because we're in the rough. So 165, 175, looking around 181, 182, I believe. Gonna go 7 iron. Hopefully, get it on the green here and salvage this hole. A little bit heavy again, but that was straighter. That actually wasn't that bad. That probably would have came close to the green if not on. Looks like we gotta hit it again though. We had to wake up the R10, so fortunately or unfortunately we got another mulligan, or a mulligan. Sometimes that plays to our advantage. Sometimes with a shot like that where I actually hit it somewhat decent, it kind of hurts us. Now I have to hit it again, try to do that. That was actually hit a little bit better. We'll take that. That one was a tad longer. The first one may have just been a couple yards, anywhere from 2 to 5 yards shorter than that. Probably still would have been on the green, but that was a little bit closer to pin high. We were able to salvage the par. I write down, just as a quick note, I write down any of the comments or any kind of context that you guys put with the suggestions. I went and looked before this. I didn't think, at least that I saw, Mark Stevens didn't put any kind of context around this. So sometimes I've seen you guys mention it's like your home course or a specific hole that is either challenging or really cool or unique. I try to write that stuff down so I can relay the information. So if you guys have a course recommendation or suggestion, don't be afraid to let me know why you want me to play the course or what you like about it, or etc. Alright, we need a good driver swing here. It starts to get demoralizing when you're struggling off the tee and then every single hole becomes a catch-up hole versus putting yourself into a not even a good position, just a not bad one. There we go. Still wasn't even 100%, but whew, cut that a little close there. All right, 177. We caught just the edge of the fairway, so there's no reduction. I think I'm gonna go, that's right between an 8 and a 7 again. That's closer to the 7, so that's what I'm gonna do. Heavy and left. It's probably gonna be short left. Not horrendous, but that wasn't exactly pure. Not too short though. What is that? Maybe 2 yards short. I just pulled it left, so we'll take the par though. 12th hole, par 5. Moving right along. we're gonna aim, I think, right about there should be a decent line. That was lower and had a lot more draw onto it. That was kind of almost a hook right into the bunker. All right, I guess we'll see, depending on how I feel I hit this. Granted, we're 285 from the hole, but we'll see if this is really closer to 20% or if we're closer to 30 or 40, which I suspect. In any event, I'm still gonna send it. I'm gonna rip the 3 hybrid here. Got a long way home, so terrible. At least it was relatively straight, but that was heavy on steroids. Might actually need that club again. All right, 143, down 1. So that, my friends, is right between a strong pitching wedge, soft 9. I think I'm gonna go soft 9, play it a little bit smarter. Probably choke down a good inch or so here. Kind of hit up on that. I popped it up. Let's see what happens. And a little bit short right, but we're on. It's kind of tough. I think generally the pros usually use the majority of the club and they just do kind of half, 3/4, full swing type stuff. I feel for me, at least as of right now with my game, it's a little bit easier to keep my swing speed relatively the same. At least for the irons. The wedges are a little bit different, but I think it's a little bit easier for me to just choke down and then keep my swing speed relatively the same and just get as consistent as I can with that versus basically using almost all the club and then I guess just my backswing 50%, 75%. Maybe I'll move towards that in the future. 202, par 3. I'm gonna go 5 iron. We have the water kind of bumps out a little bit, so I'm just gonna aim left side, a little bit left of the green. Hung it out to the right, and that was a little heavy too. That might be in the water. Yep. Should have aimed further left. Also just shouldn't have sliced it, but that was exactly what we didn't want to happen right there, folks. So that's going to be a penalty stroke that gets added on at the end. We need 47 up 2, so this is going to die a little bit when it hits. 49 plus, we'll call it another 5, so we're looking at 54. I'm going to go 52 degree. Oh, that was so thin. That's gonna be off the back. Pulled up on it. Terrible. All right, back and forth. See if we can get it on the green here. 17 yards, down one, so it's gonna roll out just a little bit when it hits. Plus we need another 1 or 2, we'll call it 2. So we need 18, right around 18 yards. I'm gonna go 60 degree. That was better than it should have been. That was almost a shank. That was low and to the right. For a double bogey at that. Grab some Gatorade, try to forget about that. All right. 14th hole, par 4, relatively short. This might be the shortest par 4 we've had yet. I'm gonna try to take out some frustration on that last one. Grip it and rip it. See if we can get close to this green. Probably the complete opposite of what I should do. Should probably just swing slower and swing smoother, but oh man, I was a little low and it started right, but that was actually, I hit that decent. We gotta wake up the R10. They gotta fix that bug. Now I gotta see if I can do that again. I'll probably pop it up. Frustrating. Obviously you would just like it to, no matter what you do, either good shot or bad shot, it just picks it up every single time. But for something like that, obviously it's frustrating when you feel like you hit something decent and then you gotta go and do it again. But on the other hand, it does help us out sometimes when we hit it something that's so bad it doesn't register and we get a mulligan. So probably all things considered, it's relatively even by the end of the course of 18 holes. That was further right. .282 though. It's gonna be nice when I actually feel like I hit one pretty pure. Haven't felt that in a while with the driver. Alright, 42 yards. We made the fairway somehow. I think we might actually have decent stats. We popped a couple up that were in the fairway, and we've caught just the sides of the fairways in some of these tee shots. Not that it really matters. I don't care if I hit 1 out of 18 fairways and have a good score, but that's just generally it. Shows you the fairways that you hit in greens and regulation, usually a pretty good indicator of how you played. 42 yards down one, so we need 41. That's right between like a soft 52 and a 56. I'm gonna go 52. That was straight. Hopefully it has enough. That one felt a little short, and it is. We're on though. Should be a par, I believe. .15th hole, par 5. We've got water all the way up along the left side. Looks like we won't have to deal with that until the second or third shot though. So, actually relatively open here. There's some trees a little bit closer on the left, but got a pretty wide landing area here for the tee shot. Didn't hate the last swing, so see if we can do something similar to that. Maybe just straighten it out a tad. That was low on the club face again. That might spray to the right. It at least started that way. It's crazy how I go from, when I actually hit them, the majority of them are low on the club face, and then my miss hit is like sky mark on top of the driver up and over the net. I don't know how there's really nothing in between there, aka the middle of the club face, but that's what it seems to be as of late. Either super low and I'm not launching them high enough to get the maximum distance, or it goes 150, 200 yards just straight pop up. 265 left, plus 10%, so that's a good 25, 30 yards because we're in the rough here. It's aiming us 208, so right there, that's 219 plus call it another 20. We should be able to hit. I'm actually, just because there's water, I'm going to aim a little bit right. I'm going to hit the 3 hybrid. Should be able to get something relatively close to there if I hit this decent. Or it's having us aim to get it there, not towards the green. To the right, but that was a better swing at least, or at least better contact. So 225, that was closer to 250-ish without the shortage in the rough. It is what it is with the shortage. Sometimes I feel like I actually, especially if the ball is sitting up in longer grass, actually hit them better and make better contact versus a kind of like a tight lie like this in the fairway. That's just more personal preference, and can't change the settings here, unfortunately. 54, down 2. It's gonna be right around a 50%. I choked down on my 52. That's gonna be short. Got a lucky bounce by the looks of it. I hit that pretty heavy. It was straight though, at least. All right, 16th hole, par 4. Gotta aim up towards that right side of the fairway, give ourselves a little more room from that water. It would be cool with the mapping if maybe in another update or two, if Garmin's able to put more of the surrounding stuff, kind of like the stadium racetrack that I was talking about. Or I think first and foremost they're probably going to do, I would assume, more of the like topography and the more accurate layout of the elevation. So instead of like up and down the yardage, it'll actually kind of show it, instead of just basically what we're seeing is essentially just a kind of a flat map. I'm thinking maybe in some future updates. I don't know. I don't really have any expertise in video games or anything of that nature, so I don't know if that's somewhat easy to do or if that's just way more trouble than it's worth kind of thing. There's the pop-up. That might be in the water. Right into the water. Wow, it brought us back pretty far. All right. Well, 3 hybrids, see if we can make up for it. I've been thinking about, which I may do pretty soon, been thinking about this, the driver. I haven't really talked about it that much lately, like the actual specifics. That's The driver that I'm using is the same driver head I had like 5 years ago. It's actually an older model than the black one that you saw in earlier videos, but I'm thinking this shaft is on the driver is like half an inch or so longer. I cut down the other one, but it seems like maybe just because of the weight of it or that extra little bit of length in it, it seems a little more whippy. It's not as stiff as I would like, so I think I might try to just switch out the shafts if they'll fit, and maybe use this driver head with my old, shorter, a little bit more stiffer shaft, see if that makes any difference. Low and left, but I think it has enough to get over the water. That's the nice part when you buy pretty much all the same, at least the same manufacturer. If not, these are all pretty much the same rocket balls or rocket blades, all those kind of RBZ line. So I think I can kind of mix and match and switch out certain things a little bit easier. I don't know if it's probably not ideal to start messing with basically the manufacturer and basically the stock settings of clubs, but you never know. Could be a cool video, I suppose. Who knows, maybe I switch the shafts and I start ripping them 280, 290, 300s down the middle every time. Doubtful, but I guess it's worth a try. 185 where I'm aiming. I aimed a little bit right and a little bit long, so I'm gonna go 7 iron. Started right, a little bit low, tad heavy as well. Hopefully it gets to the front of the green. All right. I've actually had some decent shots with that 7 iron today. Generally not a club I use a whole lot on course, it seems like, but I don't want to see that score after that was probably pretty ugly. It might have been a double with the ball in the water. Okay, now we're +7. All right, 17th hole, par 3, 207. So I'm gonna aim left, 208. The 5 is likely gonna come up about anywhere probably 5 to 10 yards short maybe, but I hit it better than my 4. The 4 would probably be yardage wise the perfect club here, but I'll probably be able to put a better swing on the 5 and hopefully catch the front side of the green. Or chunk it. That one sounded funny. I don't know if I hit a piece of mulch or if maybe there's a brick. I don't know if you guys can see it. I actually have 2 bricks here in front, keeping the mat from sliding forward. I don't know if the ball possibly caught that, or maybe I don't think the bottom of my club, I would have seen that and probably heard it more, but something made a weird noise on that one. 38 yards. We're in the fairway somehow, so no shortage in power. I'm gonna go 56 this time. Popped it up into the left. Scorecard slowly but surely blowing up on us here. or +8. I think we were just +5 like 2 holes ago. 18th hole though, we're gonna aim up here. Might as well try to rip one. Don't really have a score to protect here. It's not gonna matter if we're, what are we, +8? Not gonna matter if I put one in the water here. If we go +8 or like +12. Off the heel, started left. Wasn't horrendous though. All right, 228, down 1. Still got that water on the left, so I'm gonna aim just a little bit right here. 228. I'm gonna go 5 hybrid. If I really hit one good, it'll get there. Been catching them a little heavy, so this will probably come up a tad short, but I think the 4 hybrid would be too much club if I were to go for that. 4 hybrid, I usually play that to about 240 on course as of right now. Low, started left, off the heel. Amongst other things, I feel like I'm getting too quick with my backswing and transition. Probably have about 10 other things that are going wrong as well, but that feels like one of them. All right, and we're in the bunker. We've got 27 yards, so 20% would be 4 yards. I think it's probably going to play closer to 6 or 8 yards. So that would be right around 35-ish. We're going to go 56. Chip in would be nice here. End this on a high note after a pretty mediocre. That's not too bad there. We'll see what happens out of the bunker. Yeah, see, I think that was relatively close to my 30-35 yard shot. I think that took off a good amount. I think that was closer. I think it might be like 25-30% out of like a fairway bunker, and then around the greens I think it's closer to like 40% in my opinion. I guess I'll keep that in the memory bank going forward. If you guys are R10 users, let me know. But from Brickyard Crossing in Indianapolis, Indiana, courtesy of Mark Stevens, I believe it was. Again, shout out to you. We ended up with a +981, so pretty much kind of what I thought, right in between that bogey golf of the championship level courses and then the easier par 3 that we get, or the easier 9 holes rather, where we're closer to even par. But right in between there, we went 39 and then 42. The back was kind of rough. The wheels started to feel like they were coming off a little bit. A lot of pars, a lot of bogeys. We only had 1 bird, and we had 2 doubles on the back, unfortunately, which kind of hurt. 5 out of 14 fairways, actually not that great. There was a couple that we popped up. That number probably should have been worse from how I was hitting the driver. So, like the other ones, we like to be at least 50%. 11 out of 18 greens in regulation, we'll actually take that. That's due to some of the good 7 irons and some of those irons into the greens that we had. So 11 out of 18, that's actually pretty good. That's above 50%, we'll take that. And then 35 putts, that's pretty bad. The wedges weren't super dialed in there, so that was 1 short of 2 putts a hole. We like to be ideally 1.5, and then eventually get down towards somewhere around 1 putt per hole. Obviously we're not putting, so that's that means I'm hitting my wedges a lot better. So fun course though. I appreciate the suggestion, Mark, and the recommendation. Pretty, like I said, mediocre golf. Had some good shots, mostly not so great shots. Shots that ended up being decent, but they were definitely not what I was trying to do on some of them. So it is what it is. Hopefully we improve. hopefully we're able to learn a couple things from this round. Sometimes that's what I feel like. Even if you know, sometimes you come out, you start playing well, and maybe stuff starts to hit the fan a little bit and the wheels come off, and if all you can take from the round is just coming out of it with maybe learning a thing or two and just putting a couple good shots in your memory bank, kind of is what it is. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if any of you out there watching have any courses you'd like to see me play, and I'll see you guys at the next course.